podcast at kcaaradio.com.
KCAA.
No matter what it is in life that you want, you gotta go out there and get it. Just don't let it come to a sleeper but a dream. Never give up on your goals, stay focused on you. Focus your view, succeed, cause I'm hoping you do. Keep climbing up the ladder, cause the key to success. Go hard and go home, never settle for less. Life is stress.
What's up, team? This is Robert Porter and Ipiani Laka with the I Love San Bernardino County radio show on KCA NBC 106.5 FM, 1050 AM, where we will talk politics, culture, in history. Today we have an incredible show, Yanni. What's going down?
Yo, we have an amazing show here today. We have amazing guests. We have Tiffany Parra and we have Serafine Serrano. We'll let them introduce themselves after we get past our community announcements and everything like that. But with that being said, Robert, how was your weekend, bro?
Wow, that was an incredible weekend. We had a good time. We just kind of doing the yard work, staying low-key, doing that stuff. But the weekend before Veterans Day, we did this animal run. So like this pup run, we saved a pup from the animal shelter. Amy says, we're taking a dog to my mama up in Magalia. We drove the pup from the shelter all the way up there with the help of her daughter, taking care of the animal and all this wonderful goodness. The pup has a good home and it's happy. And it's got stuffed animals and all the good stuff, right?
It's got a forest to run around now.
Incredible stuff. But I'd like to mention our sponsor, Celebrities Bar and Grill over on 40th. Please head on over there. Visit Max. Tomorrow is the steak special, $10.99. Head on over there for the steak special. Have a steak. There's some potatoes and Texas toast.
Hey, now.
Order a drink. Help Max out and, help the show out as well. We also have our Standout of the Week brought to you by Ben Chavez with First Lineage Site Services. And they are Community Action Partnership because?
Yes, Community Action Partnership of San Bernardino County, because this weekend they did their turkey giveaway where they're able to bless over 1,300 families with a turkey and all the fixings.
Gobble, gobble!
Gobble, gobble, for real. Gobble, gobble, for real, for real.
Yeah.
And, also shout out to Young Visionaries, Eugene Weems, and a few other organizations that help participate in that. Normally, I would go and volunteer to help distribute that, like I've done in the past. It's just I had, I'm a busy man, so I had a lot of things on the radar.
I'm sorry, Mr. Stone. I shared it everywhere. I promise you, I shared it everywhere. But he understands.
Totally.
For me, it's a lot of times on the weekends. It's just that's my chance to do the garden, right?
Definitely.
And I've been slacking a little bit, so I want my winter garden going.
No, totally.
I want greens.
Amen. Because Robert Porter has a green thumb. He brings in all kind of exotic fruit in here. Pawpaws.
I just harvested the fiojas or the pineapple guavas, and the sapotes are falling off into my hands. So if you touch a guava or a white sapote on the bottom like that, and it drops in your hand,
that means it's
that's
ready.
a good day.
Awesome.
That is perfection right there.
Definitely. So, so definitely shout out to Community Action Partnerships under the leadership of Ms. Nichols, doing amazing things to address the needs of our community. So we greatly appreciate California Action Partnership.
Right on. And for the history tidbit, I don't know, I wanted to talk a little bit about the turkey trot and the ho-ho parade, right? So the San Bernardino Turkey Trot, 10 years, I mean, that's kind of historic. It's getting older. I've been MC all for the whole time. We brought in another youngster to help us MC.
Awesome.
So kind of passing on the skills, right?
Okay.
He's already incredible himself.
That's what's up.
And then they just today, we confirmed everything. So that will be, if you want to roll in the turkey trot, it will be sbturkeytrot.com. You can go in there and register and do the 5 or 10K. And it is Thanksgiving morning. Did you register for this one?
Not yet. I will be, and I might dial back to this. I'm still going to stick to the 10K. I was trying to get my jogging in this month to prepare, and it's just being in Oak, all this travel and a lot going on.
I'm still proud of your hard work.
Well, thank you, sir.
Yeah, and
Thank you,
you're doing it you're usually doing it on video, so we know you're doing it. Right?
No, I definitely walk every day religiously, but I have to dust off the jogging again because that's when I'll see my most benefit, because I wanted to better my time. I did the 10K last year in under an hour and 20 minutes, and a 10K is basically 6.2 miles. And I walk 6 miles a day anyway, but I have to focus on the intensity. I'm going to be refocusing my whole life, my business and everything in December, especially when I'm on the cruise down to Mexico on the 15th through the 19th, just to decompress and reflect. I haven't been on a cruise in probably like 15 plus years, but it'll be good to go there. I'm going solo dolo, you know what I mean? So hopefully I get in some good trouble, you know what I mean?
I just said a prayer and
Amen.
headed it towards that ship and the beautiful ladies that will be on it.
Hey now, victory.
And good food. You're
Hey,
going
now.
to get food on the cruise.
Yeah, totally. I usually tell people before you go on a cruise, you need to lose about 10 to 15 pounds because you're going to definitely eat it on the cruise. So, for real.
It is wintertime too, so all those comfort foods are coming out, and there is a lot of turkey giveaways and things like that, but you need to register, team.
Yes.
So look online. Scour the I Love San Bernardino, but don't just stop there. There's lots of different areas. Put in turkey in the search engine. Turkey giveaway.
Totally.
Yeah, they're there. You have to register. Please do this, team, if you need food.
Yes, indeed.
And there is food banks as well. So if you watch I Love San Bernardino, weekly we put up a food bank post, but also our admin are really good at posting all the food banks.
Totally.
So put food distribution or food bank in the search engine and press it. And then just go wait in line for some food. It's not usually a long line. They'll give you stuff that you could use. I don't use it all, team. Sometimes you don't use certain things. But some of the things you do use, right?
Totally.
Tuna and stuff like that. Heck yeah, right? Or pinto beans or rice or whatever, So
especially the staples.
yeah. So if you're hungry, you can still get food, team. There is food there.
Definitely.
So look for it. Also, the Ho-Ho Parade is coming up. So the Community Ho-Ho Parade is going to be all across the city. Go to communityhohoparade.com and you'll see the 4 routes or 3 routes, I believe, they have to the city. And they're pretty cool. They'll have 30 cars or 20 cars that go through the whole city, and they drive around in the community parks on corners and waves, and it's fun, dude.
Awesome. I remember actually driving in one of them, when the route went down Mount Vernon, when I used to have my Jaguar S-Type. It was a very beautiful car. I used to get compliments on that car all the time, right? So it was really fun, being a part of the parade and everything like that. And then one community event that I definitely want to highlight, we have the All Smiles Loving Care Foundation presents the Inland Empire Choice Awards, the greatest party of the year, the Sneaker Ball. It's going to be happening on Saturday, December 7th at Indian Springs High School. And the red carpet opens at 3 p.m. and the presentation will be happening at 4 p.m. And the reason I bring this up is because they reached out to me a few days ago and let me know that I was one of the nominees for community activists within the Inland Empire this year. So that was a pleasant surprise to be nominated, that people threw your name in the hat, and they have all kind of categories. They have like best chef of the Inland Empire, I think like best marching band.
I got photographer one year.
There you go.
Yeah.
Best photographer, best DJ, so
I have actually helped Mr. Prince a lot of times, and I think I put you down for photography.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, like I don't know how many it takes to win or whatever.
No, totally.
But it's still cool.
Well, thank you, brother.
Those are fun. So you participate in those.
Definitely. So if you guys want to get tickets, you could go to the All Smiles Loving Care Foundation. If you type that in on Facebook, you can find that. You can find the event link as well, or you could go to my page, and I've shared it in I Love San Bernardino by Robert Porter as well. So purchase the tickets. The tickets are less than $20, and that's including the service fee. And it's going to be a really good time to come out and celebrate our community. Come together as a community to celebrate and love on the community,
And there's also a couple more events giveaways and collections for socks and things like that
Hot
were
Socks
involved.
and
Yeah,
Meals,
yeah,
Lou.
yeah. So Lou Dowdy, if you follow her, she has a lot of events coming up, and I've just been informed that I was nominated to be Communications Award for
Awesome.
the Martin Luther King Gala.
Excellent. Congratulations.
Me?
Hey,
well,
now.
thank you very much.
Hey, you. Why not you? It should be you, man. You're the face of the Dino, man.
Shoot, like most of my time, my city, especially the main city part, they don't pay attention to us. They like, yeah,
They
we're
do.
yeah,
They just
like,
don't.
yeah,
They act like they don't. but
yeah,
they're
like
watching.
they don't. You know, when they should be giving out awards and all that stuff, they'd rather give it to the people that are yes men. You know, so we're not, I don't know, yes men.
It's funny though, right? Because when I was up in Oakland, it was the same night that we had our graduation for the Redlands Chamber of Commerce leadership cohort that I was a part of. So I went to the Redlands Chamber of Commerce a few days ago to pick up my award, and I got recognition from Congressman Obernolte, Congressman Aguilar, the Senator Ochoa, I forget her last name, but as well as Ramos got an award from him. And it's funny because I did a little video, and what first thing that came to mind is how you always say they give those things away like Tic Tacs.
Well, no. So how it works at those events? So not all your feelings, but they ask. They say, "Hey, who can we give these awards to?" And then they like get a name, and then they print them all up. But that many. It's freaking awesome.
It was 5 of them.
That is respect.
Yeah, and it's nice, like
Yeah.
I said in the video. I said, but it's nice to have some Tic Tacs every now and then.
Yeah, that is awesome, dude. I've never got an award for Ramos, man. That's cool.
We're going to be working on that.
We'll get him on here. So we have a great show for tonight. I think this is going to be great. We're going to talk a little bit about health, a little bit about the community.
Yes, indeed.
And maybe we should get started with some health first, or what do you think, Johnny?
Definitely.
What do you think?
Well, ladies first. So we'll have Tiffany go ahead and introduce yourself and share about what you do in our community, the amazing things that you do in our community, and then later on we'll be talking about you becoming a homeowner in Dominican Republic as well, right?
Absolutely. So thank you so much for having me. I'm Tiffany Parr, and I am from Ontario. I am a healthy lifestyle coach, and what that means is I help people get physically, mentally, spiritually, as well as financially fit, because it all runs hand in hand. So if you're broken in one, you're sooner or later going to be broken in the rest of them, right? So you got to just make sure that you got all that cohesion there. I am also editor-in-chief of Phoenix Fitness Fanatics magazine, Elevating Your Mind, Body, and Spirit. We are a national magazine with a international reach.
Yes.
We have almost 20 contributing writers, and I am also the founder of the Girl Powerhouse Network, which there are 504 of us worldwide. I started this group during COVID because I got laid off out of my longtime HR career. I was at a entertainment venue. I won't give any names, but it was just, it was breaking me. I was getting to a point where my health was starting to ail, and I had to do something about it.
Amen.
So that layoff was really God's way of saying, hey, daughter, it's time for you to do something different.
Amen.
I have been a personal trainer for a while because of my own personal journey. I was told I was going to die if I did not make some changes in my health in 2008. I was at my heaviest. My blood pressure was extremely high. Stress really weighing down on me. So it took me about 3 years to release almost 120 pounds, release toxic relationships with friends, family.
You heard that, team? 3 years. A weight loss journey isn't necessarily 6 months or
No.
You
It's a
have
lifestyle
to
change.
and if you gained weight over 3 or 4 years,
Yeah.
you gotta kind of expect that it might take healthily to get rid of it that way.
Absolutely.
So don't be too hard on yourself.
Amen.
It's the trickle effect,
Yeah.
and that's the way that you're going to keep it off as well. Because a lot of people
For
ask,
long.
they're like, how have you kept all this weight off? And it's been over a decade, and, you've been pretty steady. Well, it's because I made it a lifestyle change.
Amen.
When I got started, I really just, when you were talking about 5Ks, I love 5Ks because the Upland Turkey Trot was the first 5K I signed up for when I started my journey. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna run this thing. So I started a mile, then I started 2 miles, Then I started 3 miles, and I got myself ready for it.
Amen.
And I was able to run it, and then that turned into 10Ks, and 10Ks turned into half marathons. That's my sweet spot. I love half marathons. They're amazing. I did a full marathon in 2015.
Awesome.
Did the Long Beach marathon and was able to run the whole thing. I will tell you, I wrecked my body because I did not prepare. You know, I was not out there doing all the training that you should do. So I paid for it. But that's okay. You know, sometimes you got to pay for those things.
That sounds like me on this upcoming Thanksgiving because I still got a few days to get it right.
You may be in a little pain, but you know what? It's all about just stretching,
Amen.
Listening to your body,
True indeed.
you know. And what else? I also am an author. I am an 8-time best-selling author. I have 3 books as a visionary author called Becoming a Girl Powerhouse. It's 45 women sharing their stories from trauma to triumph.
Definitely.
I mean, we all have a story.
Yes, indeed.
I tell my clients, you know what? Stand on your story, not in it. Because when you stand on your story,
like
it's
that.
power.
I like
that gives you
We'll have to borrow
power.
that one.
And you can take that power, and when you're sharing with others, you're able to help them get to the other side.
Amen.
Because now they don't feel like they're all alone, you know? And that's really what we need.
Amen.
So,
Support and love.
I also support other authors. I just became really passionate about wanting to help others to share their stories. And if it's, you know, fiction, whatever it is, just being able to share that. And as we talked about before we started this show, I have learned that secret sauce to be able to help people to become a #1 bestseller or international bestseller as well.
Hey now,
yeah.
now. Definitely. I know I when we first met, it was over at the Steelworkers Union with an event by, I want to say, Concerned Citizens for the Development of North Montana. Shout out to Ellen Turner, Deborah, Vernell. I'm a part of that as well. So
Yeah.
I got too many hats. But anyways, our conversation was it was just a connection, right? And she started talking about her weight loss journey. I started talking about mine. She was like, let me show you these pictures. And it was just like, man, kindred spirit, especially in that positive energy sense, you know?
Yeah.
And we've been connected at the hip. I still have to follow through and utilize. So thank you for not putting me on blast. I'll do it myself and utilizing her services, because often if you go to her Facebook page, you'll see her podcast that she conducts, interviewing other authors and highlighting their works. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful experience. Very well done. So how is it that, before I even ask that question, could you share about the medical equipment?
Sure,
Because that was one thing that's pretty phenomenal.
Oh, when we met, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was out there sharing what's called PEMF, which is pulsed electromagnetic field therapy. I found out about it from a wonderful woman in Pasadena. I've got to give a shout out to Marv Kreider because she really helped to save my life. I mean, as a personal trainer, you can't be physically hurt and my back went out. I'm actually bone on bone on my back, but the way I move, I mean, you guys can be able to tell that.
No.
You know, I can get down to the floor, I run, I still lift weights, do all those things, and it's because of PEMF. And what PEMF does is it actually opens up the microcirculation of the body, helps to deplete the inflammation in the body, because we all know that inflammation is everything. Inflammation causes all the different diseases. It causes all the pains and all the different ailments. So once you deplete that, your body is going to start to heal itself and all the cells start to do what we're supposed to do.
Totally.
Right? We actually regenerate every 7 years. We get a brand new body every 7 years. The way that we treat it now is going to be the way that it regenerates later. So if we're eating properly, if we're exercising, walking every day, I commend you for that.
Thank you.
Because even just walking 15 minutes a day could make, I mean, just a world of difference.
Definitely.
You know, even juicing. If you juice, go to Juice It Up or something, maybe once or twice a week, getting just a little bit of nutrients in there that you might not necessarily do on the day-to-day is going to still help you. You know, just start baby steps. And those baby steps are going to turn into something huge. So the PEMF mat, all you do is lay on it. And you lay on it for 8 minutes a day. And it resonates in the body up to 5 hours. So I typically are on it for about Well, I do it like 3 to 4 times a day, so
I hear you.
I love
Especially
it. Especially moving the way I do,
Mm-hmm.
working out, doing all that stuff, and yeah, it resets your body. So
Definitely.
if there's anybody out there that is really having issues with pain, having issues with sleep, having issues with anxiety, things like that, I can definitely help with getting them to the other side of that. So
definitely. Robert, do you have a question?
Oh, yes, I do. So I was like, how does it, like, does it shoot like waves or something?
Okay. Good question. So thank you. It's actually got Tesla coils inside the mat, and those Tesla coils are emitting the Earth's frequency. So you know how they have you go out, how they say go out and ground, right? Go out and get barefoot, get in the grass, open up those toes, go hug a tree. I am a tree hugger. I know my neighbors think I'm insane, but I enjoy going out there because when you hug a tree, you feel that energy, you feel that positive just force coming into your body. So this is like grounding on steroids. And there's a lot of practitioners out there. You've got massage therapists, you have acupuncturists that are using this in their practices now, because when you open up the body and you open up the circulation, when you do that, what's going to happen when you give yourself a massage? When you open up the circulation, that's going to move everything through the body so much better, so that massage is going to feel 10 times better because of using something like PEMF.
Yeah, like they say, drink water before a massage too.
Yes,
It's just a different way to do that.
Yeah, and you drink water before you get on it as well, because we are water.
Just
so
adding to everything to detoxify, right?
absolutely.
And Seraphine, do you have a question? I can't. If you don't land on it, I'll throw it. I'll pitch it to you But do you have a question off the top of your head?
No, not off the top of my head.
Definitely will. Seraphine does a lot of work around healing, and I was wondering how is the importance of having a health regimen connected to us healing our emotional side and our mental side, because often we don't give ourselves the time or space to address the traumas we've may endured and to focus intentionally on our healing,
Yeah. And it's listening to your body, because your body is going to tell you. If you have a little pain in there, listen to it. Don't just, let me just stretch and I'm good. No, because that could be something that's festering in there.
Word up.
And when you start having really bad things really happen, now it's too late.
I hear you.
Now you've gotten a death sentence, right? When usually nothing is a death sentence. I mean,
hear you.
when you go to the doctor and they tell you you're diabetic, or they even tell you that you have certain kinds of cancer. We know that technology today, as well as the holistic things that are coming out, the herbs that are out, that we're finding out just work magnificently
I
in
like
our
herbs.
body, right?
Basil,
There you go.
oregano.
Basil,
I hear you, brother.
hey, mint. I do a lot of juicing, and I do a lot of herb juicing as well. And it really it helps to just detox the body, because you definitely need to detox all those heavy metals and all those different things.
Awesome.
And once you detox, you feel better. So you're going to be, your mindset is going to be different. When you feel heavy and you feel just pain, you're
Not healthy.
depressed.
It's something
you're
amiss.
not happy. Right?
Totally.
So
it's directly
yeah.
connected to your.
connected.
It's all connected because it's only housed in the body. It's all housed in the temple.
Yes,
And then
yes.
we have to be diligent of our mind, body, and spirit
Absolutely.
within this experience of life. And before we jump over to Seraphine Serrano, I wanted to speak more. Two things. If you could share about, hopefully, I know you have the books with the women. I think it's the Girl Power Network, where the ladies come in and give their stories of empowerment and everything like that. Is there another edition coming down the pipeline? And if so, how could our listeners connect with you to find out more about that and maybe even be a contributor to that? And then after you answer that, if we could talk about you and your husband's journey, new adventure of moving to the Dominican Republic.
Oh, wow. I'm so excited. So, oh my gosh. So what was
The first one was about
Yes.
the books. And
Okay, so the books. So the Becoming a Girl Powerhouse books, the trilogy, that was done. I said, at first I said I was only going to do one. Then the girls came at me and they're like, just come on, I got a story too. So we did those. Now we have a new twist, and it's called Unsnapped. Now, Unsnapped, it's an acronym, and it is a long acronym, but it's very powerful. It means understanding necessary solutions needed to apply positive principles, ending destruction.
Unsnapped.
What is it that you do to stay calm, cool, and collected in today's society when you've got chaos all around you?
You could say that again.
So we are looking for a few more authors right now. You could definitely connect with me. We have some amazing authors right now that some of these stories are ready. I mean, you've got a little comical stuff going on as well, because when you feel like you're going to snap, sometimes your brain just takes you to a whole different place and you start visualizing things. I will tell you, I visualize myself, probably I shouldn't say this, but I have visualized myself taking out probably a few people in life and have just
I would never do that.
What's that knife over there, right?
But you learn how to work through those things. You learn how to breathe. You learn how to decide, like, wait a second, what's going to happen if I do this, right? And that's what these stories are. These are really saying what we might have done, why we didn't do it, and what we were scared of happening if we did it.
I hear you. I hear the accountability portion, right? No, that's amazing. That's amazing. And how can they connect with you to find out more about the magazine, or if they want to find out more about the medical equipment, or if they want to be featured on your podcast? How can our audience get connected with you?
Well, you can either Google Coach Tiffany Parra, or you can just contact me at 909-326-0099. Text me and just reference this show, and let's definitely talk.
And she's got an Instagram too. I saw you.
Yes.
You tagged it in the post on Instagram.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
That's Coach Tiffany Parra on Instagram.
On I Love San Bernardino. You can go down in the comments. Bam.
Definitely. And we'll close that out on this, about your new adventure of building a home in the DR. Share a little about that.
So you speak Spanish? Or
You know what? I am learning Spanish.
Okay.
I did not know a whole lot before we went, but we went for a retreat with Own It magazine, which I'm a contributing writer with as well. They're my parent magazine. I absolutely
That's the Oprah Winfrey
adored
Network,
it.
right?
No, Own It
okay.
is actually out of Philadelphia.
Okay.
Marisa Blodorn is the editor-in-chief of Own It magazine, but it's about owning yourself, the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between.
Yes,
So I went out there. I loved it. She moved out there 3 years ago from Philadelphia, and I was jealous. I'm like, really? You left the hustle and bustle? Like, I gotta leave the hustle and bustle before it kills me. She says, come on out and visit. You're not gonna wanna go home.
I believe you.
And I did not want to go home. I tell you, the island wanted to keep us. It took us 36 hours to get home because our flights kept getting changed. And I'm like, see, they want us to stay. So we met an amazing woman out there from Germany. She's a developer out there. Her name is Sabine. And she shared with us some of the amazing developments that she's doing out there. And I said, how can I get involved? I said, I would love to get out here and share some of the things that I do here in the States, with PEMF. I also do sound bathing. I play the crystal bowls. So just being able to bring that to, the resorts, being able to bring PEMF to some of the health and wellness professionals out there, the trainers and things like that. I said, you know what, I really want to do it. So we talked to Sabine. She showed us the plans, and I said, let's do it. My husband was down to do it. He speaks a little Spanish, so he's good. And he does flooring. So they said, so how are you going to do flooring out here? He says, well, you know what? There's flooring that can withstand the humidity out here, so I'm going to basically just come out here and take charge. Because instead of having all this, stone and stuff that you're walking on, let's have some nice wood, flooring and be nice and warm. So
we'll stay connected.
We're so excited. Yeah, come on
Very
out.
exciting.
Come see us. Yeah.
All thing I ask is you plant some of those tropical fruits that I can't grow here in San Bernardino.
We'll try to send you some seeds.
Yeah.
I want to see pictures.
We're going to get you some plants.
Yeah.
We're going to get you some plants. Definitely.
You get avocados like the size of your head out there.
We actually get those here too, but like that variety we can't grow here.
Yeah.
That exact variety. But still they can get. That's a
Totally.
guacamole.
a bucket of guacamole.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? We'll definitely thank you, Miss Tiffany,
Thank
for
you.
being here
Thank you
and
so
all
much.
that you do in our community, especially empowering humanity, helping them take charge of their lives to live a life of purpose and meaningful, ultimately being happy about our duration and time within life.
Yes,
So thank you
so
once
much.
again,
Thank
sister.
you.
God bless you as well.
bless you.
Now we're going to be jumping over to Serafin Serrano, who is a community organizer for Crime Survivors for Safety and Justice, and he's so much more outside of that. But instead of me telling his story, it's always best to go to the horse. So, hello, Mr. Serafin. How are you doing this evening, sir?
Good evening, community. Definitely an honor and pleasure to be here. I'd like to open it as my elders have taught me by acknowledging, the original peoples of this land, by acknowledging all my ancestors, those that I had the privilege of knowing, as well as those that whose story I haven't. I'm still to hear. My name is Serafin, and I feel in large part what has me here this evening I'm going to speak to, but as the brother here alluded to, I have been privileged over the last several decades to be connected to communities throughout Southern California, quite frankly. I am a chapter coordinator with Californians for Safety and Justice Crime Survivors for Safety and Justice. And that I definitely want to take some minutes to share that here in the car. I didn't bring it. I just kind of figured, well, we're being interviewed, and I mentioned this is kind of my first time in this platform, but I have
Well, you're doing just fine.
on photos of my brother Theodore and his only son Ernie, both who were murdered. My brother Theodore was killed in 1986, June 14th. He was 19 years old at the time. Him and his girl Maria were 3 months pregnant at that time. I was a teenager. I was 14, 15 years old. The following summer, July 13th, his only son, Ernie, was born. At that time, I need to also take this time to honor the immense love that my brother Theodore specifically rained on me. My brother was my mom. He was my dad. He was my teacher. He was my mentor. I have these vivid recollections of him actually changing my diaper as a child. Right, and he was my brother. He was my older brother. I think he was maybe 4 at most years older than me. Needless to say, when my brother was killed, a part of me was killed. That bullet that ripped his brain it put a hole in my soul. And we already were very harmed, young people in the home. And I recognize that now that the home was one that had a long history in both harming others, however, to understand appropriately and thoroughly, we were all harmed before we went on to harm other people, right? So
That's often the case with a lot of things. Yeah.
that's usually always the case.
Yeah.
Right.
That's usually always the
True.
case.
Yeah.
Right? And this will all connect, right? Because everything interconnects that way. But so I went to jail almost immediately afterwards. in the years I was incarcerated in the California Youth Authority, actually not too far from here, I spent some time in the youth training school. They called it, we knew it as a gladiator school, a prison for juveniles here in Chino. But it was then that I was participating in this anger management program. So I'm a young adult, right? I'm 17, 18, 19, these years. And I remember I was mandated to participate in this program. And even though at that time I had no formal education, there definitely was something inside of me that felt this is a complete joke. I felt there was really nothing of value that was benefiting me. However, I'm taking the time to note that because I really believe, along with the love my brother Theodore kind of bestowed on me, being in that program in YTS here in Chino those years was really the birth of my, I think, my first truly radical spirit where I said, you know what, I would like to, I want to do something like that.
Amen.
I can see myself doing something like that,
It's like
but make it
an
meaningful.
awakening, huh? Like you,
Right?
Yeah.
So now I come home, I'm 21 years old. No one in my family's gone on to any kind of formal education. The whole idea of going to college was extremely terrifying, right? So much so that I actually enrolled in a continuation school, right? Because I'm familiar with alternative ed. And I remember even there they shared with me, you can just enroll in college. And I lied. I said, yeah, but I want to brush up my skills. But and probably on some level, the biggest deceit was with myself, right? I wasn't even aware of what I wasn't aware of, right? But needless to say, it wasn't until it's probably some months, maybe even a year after that I, with some hand holding, I need hand holding.
sometimes.
Right,
you
so
do.
I don't hesitate in hand holding, and I'm gonna connect it back to our crime survivors, right, and really that tender touch, right. Throughout these years, I've heard all these different warm handoff and all these cool terms and everything, but I'm a practitioner at heart. I'm a little brother. I didn't mention that, but I want to also mention that because I learned it's about being a verb.
Action.
It's not about the rhetoric. Anyone can talk a swell one,
Yeah. Right.
but what are one's deeds?
What are you doing?
Right? What are you doing?
Lead by example.
Right?
Making it real. Making it
So
real.
anyhow, so I eventually start college in 1994. In fact, 30 years ago at this time, I was enrolled in my first college classes, right? A few years after that, I had the privilege of bringing my nephew Ernie to come live with me for the next years to follow. My nephew Ernie was choked to death here in the city of Riverside by the Riverside Sheriffs. The anniversary is right around the corner. And it was then that I was tapped to serve as a chapter coordinator for the Inland Empire, where I'm honored. I'm honored not only to serve in that role, but I'm honored to care for our community, to understand the anguish, the agony of those unnatural deaths. Right? Some of us just aspire to not only possibly die in a natural way, but to also our loved ones transition in that way. Because a lot of us don't know that. That's not a
guaranteed.
normacy
That's not-
for a lot of us in the community. And I'll say specifically here in this city that I'm at this evening, in recognizing one of our community members that I had, again, the privilege of connecting with, and also listening to the agony that she has, losing her second son to violence, her second son that she just lost recently. So Crime Survivors for Safety and Justice, in essence, is about changing policies. As our director, I heard recently in an interview of really making healing a policy, right? Really operating from a place of heart, right? We're talking about health, we're talking about healing, we're talking about whole. What is it that happens when we're experiencing such unnatural, and not just unnatural, such horrific deaths, right? And my experience, again, never mind my personal experience, now my 29-year experience as a practitioner, is you see that it cycles, cycles of hurt, right? So you did kind of mention a little, and privileged, and I'm also a circle keeper in the community. I'm a circle keeper with the East LA Women's Center, where we have men's healing circles weekly. We meet virtually, and once a month we have the opportunity of meeting in person. I'm also a coordinator with Homies Unidos in Los Angeles, and there specifically we're working also in a community that has a historic just standing of violence, where we're doing our due diligence, right? Specifically to care for our community, to really a mentor of mine, Father Gregory Boyle, back to the action, right? Back to the verb.
Amazing man.
Father Gregory Boyle, one of the probably my favorite persons quoting, talks about kinship is not serving another. It's about being at one with another. All right. So I really, in essence, feel that all of our story is essential. We're not here happenstance. We're here to contribute. We're here to leave our heart print. So in that sense, I appreciate what you're doing, and I definitely would love to tap into what you're doing, because I do feel that our health is our greatest wealth.
That was one thing I thought could be something that might even be attractive to conservatives, is maybe better food in the prison system, right? Because it seems like that, if you want to get better, like you're saying, you got to start with some of the basic stuff, right? Clean water and food, right? Feeling good mentally.
Definitely, if you want to really focus on rehabilitation, then all those things are aspects that play into that.
Yeah, if you don't know how to eat properly and you go back out in the world, you're just going to start the same poison trip that you...
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Now, the last thing I want to lift, and I'm glad I'm thinking what you're saying right now. Now, I remember hearing this expression years ago, and I feel there's some truth in it. Often you need to be wealthy to eat healthy. Right? In some of the communities where I'm privileged to be at, their produce and their local groceries not the same that I have access to in the LBC where I live at, right? And even Long Beach has, varying communities, right? But what I really want to speak to and kind of end on this point, that's real, not just imagined. In the community in LA that I'm working at right now specifically, I was sharing with the Ipiani that in 2016, I was approached by many of parents sharing with me about their fear of them being deported. And if I would take custody of their child if they're deported, well, here we are again in 2024. And those conversations are happening.
It's scary.
Definitely, I believe in what we do matters, how we do matters, longevity. We're here to contribute. And again, it's a pleasure, and I'll definitely answer any questions that you might have.
And I have a little answer for the food insecurity. That's why we try to show that you can grow in pots. I mean, if you make the effort, you can, even a small space, produce enough nutrients to at least enlighten your salad, right? And it would be like, I made this. Yanni's got a good one with that, right? He's got his little tower garden going.
Tower garden.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like,
definitely.
and if we could teach like some of that stuff to the kids, that's why I say teach the youth and in the inner cities, and then hopefully, you know, like, what is it, 140,000 we're spending a year on inmates?
Over 130,000.
Yeah, if let's just spend 40,000 a year on a kid in school, right? Instead,
you could literally house a family of four families of four with that amount of money.
Yeah,
and why is it that we have this emphasis on incarcerating our community instead of giving our communities the tools that they need to navigate, to be contributing members?
Right.
We all have a dream and a vision, and we can do great things, but that's when we love one another, number one, and invest in humanity, not caging it. One question that I have for you, Seraphine, and so always well spoken, brother. It's an honor to always share space.
Did you see how he lit up? Like, you're natural.
No,
Just don't
this man.
Yeah,
this
you're
man,
natural.
He inspires me. I want to know, do you ever take Toastmasters? Because you, out of all the people I know that speak, you say the least amount of ums. But I know you take time to be very well thought out with what you're articulating and what you're expressing. But have you ever taken Toastmasters?
No one's ever asked me that. You're spot on. Years, 1999.
Okay.
So they take notes on your on your
Yes, indeed. Yes,
So
indeed.
following that, I'll speak slower
Amen.
to
Slow
just
your
make
roll.
sure not to get the right?
Totally.
I just
totally.
gave up. You probably count a million of them already.
I'm guilty of it
Yeah.
too. I'm more conscious of it.
But if you're going to go into the political realm, which I think you might want to dabble in a bit, isn't it the great word to say, right?
Yes, it's being well spoken and well, having your thoughts well thought out and expressing what you say clearly, and in a tone and speed that allows all to be able to encode, hear, and receive the message that you
When you have to change, and then when the homies are back around.
you do what you do.
Back.
What up, fam?
Yeah. Got out of that.
But the one thing that I wanted to speak about earlier, because thank you to for reaching out and allowing me to go and march on Washington D.C. with your organization, and that whole 43 states were present there at Washington D.C. for the crime bill, the bill for survivors. I'm saying that wrong, but if you could kind of share about that whole undertaking, because I know that made national news. That effort of that many, over 3,500 survivors coming out to advocate for a victim bills of rights.
Yes, it was beautiful. We had a lot of folks specifically from this area, from the Inland Empire, throughout Southern Cal and as well as Northern Cal. But pretty much, again, it was about pushing our commonality, right? The right to heal, right? I mean, just imagine that, the right to heal, right? So 11 bullet points that I don't know offhand, but again,
You didn't bring your laptop with you, did you?
I actually do have it, but I wasn't even gonna kind of pull it out in that sense. But access, right, to trauma recovery, access to health. Again, especially today, our immigrant community that is way, way more susceptible than they've ever been, right? So that was also included.
Yes.
But again, in essence, how is it that, especially after someone experiences losing a loved one in that way, we all need the same thing and we want the same thing.
Right.
Right? So really to introducing that as a policy that the person, the family, is processing, is
loss.
healing
Yeah.
from such unnatural.
Demise.
Yes, an unnatural demise. Because again, if it isn't, so I feel really what we value, we invest in.
Yeah.
Right? But by not investing on these basic, because they're really basic.
Yeah.
They're really basic. Like, I definitely can forward it to you. I don't know, you have another platform to post them, right? Because I mean,
definitely do.
there was a lot of time taken into
Totally.
develop those
Totally.
specifically. So they're important. But if you read them, they're so commonsensical.
I hear you.
Right? You know,
It makes too much
so it's
sense.
not. But again, I think it's just important that we compete with our imagination, right? And I think some of us are privileged in not only competing with our imagination, but we're also competing with our spirit, with our work, right?
I kind of feel like I'm competing with like my past self a little bit sometimes. Right? I'm trying to better myself.
Amen.
All right, I did that. Now I got to do this. I have one question off the subject. Your necklace. That is beautiful. Tell me about it.
I'm going to do probably, I'm cognizant of the time here.
Okay.
For more information, cssj.org.
Okay.
Right? That'll plug you into all the different things, you know, as we're moving into 2025. Right? Now, in regards to my necklace.
It's so cool. I had to ask. I had to
It's a
ask.
protector.
Okay.
Right? In essence, it was a gift, and
It's beautiful.
it not solely protects me, but in protecting me, I think you spoke to it, right? The more rooted, the more grounded, the more centered I am, the better state. I'm blessed. I'm connected with a lot of people. They get the best version of me.
In obsidian and metals and minerals and things, they do affect your body. So
Absolutely.
good stuff.
Absolutely.
And it's an arrowhead, right? Is that an arrowhead, right? That's what I want, you know. I love the arrowhead, let me
Affinity
tell
for the
you.
arrowhead.
It's very important to me. This was a great interview, Yanni. I really enjoyed mixing the rehabilitation with the health.
Yes.
It really needs to be focused on more, because if you don't have a proper body, your mind's not going to work right.
Totally.
Right?
Often I say, you know, the better that we are internally, the better the external experience is.
right.
So it's so important for us to do that self-reflection, that internal work that we each have to address, because yes, it could be tough, it could be emotional, it could be a lot of things, but I tell you no lie, once you find the courage and strength to navigate that, you get to a place of empowerment, you get to a place of self-love, you get to a place of self-care, and when you discover those things, you're able to see that in all the living creations that we're each surrounded by.
And I'd like to dedicate this show to your brother.
God bless you, brother.
That's a very it's,
And nephew,
Yeah,
and
it's a hard story, but it's an important story.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, it's so important for people to speak, to tell their story. For those that are interested to connecting with your IE local meeting, how would they go about connecting with that as well? Or-
Pretty much you can go to cssj.com. There's a section there it'll ask you your information, and it automatically will plug you in.
Awesome.
And
I love your
I look
system.
forward to
mobilize
from you.
right. us.
Yes.
I'm trying to get my organization to invest in that. Tiffany, one more time, how can people get in contact with you?
Again, they can text me or they can just call and leave a message at 909-326-0099.
The Dominican Republic.
There you go.
That's
And
awesome.
back over to our host, distinguished host, amazing man of the community, Robert Porter.
Oh, I would like to say thank you to Jason Lola
Yes.
from Wax Skateboard for making these incredible skateboards that Yanni hooked us up with. Incredible! Thank you, Yanni. I mean, this is awesome. You and Jason went well above and beyond the call of duty.
Awesome.
And there is The famous arrowhead of San Bernardino.
Awesome.
And where we at, Eric? Thank you for all you do, by the way,
Yes,
too.
thank you. Shout out to E-Money, Airwood. Tune in to his show, Palm Trees in Progress, as well.
All right, this is Robert Porter and Ipiani Locker with the I Love San Bernardino County radio show, and we are out of here.